quick question. Have you ever changed one button on your site and suddenly like 15 of your Playwright tests just break? Same selector, copy pasted everywhere, and now you're hunting through every single test file fixing it one by one. Honestly, it's horrible. So here's the thing. There's a pattern that fixes it, and it's been around forever, but a lot of people skip it when starting out with Playwright. It's called the page object model. People usually just call it POM. And what that means is instead of writing raw selectors all over your test, you put them in one place, one class per page, and your test just called methods on that class. That's it. So here's how today's going. First, I'll explain what POM actually is, walk you through a quick before and after so you can see why it matters. Then we'll jump into a real Playwright project. It's a plant store app that has product, cart, and checkout. We'll look at the page object files that are already there, and then we're going to take an existing test that's written the messy way and refactor it to use the page objects. You'll see exactly how it cleans up. All right, let's start. Okay, so a page object is just a class. That's really all it is. One class represents one page in your app, like a login page, or a products page, or a cart page. And inside that class, you've got two main things. First, the locators. Those are the things Playwright uses to find elements on the page, like a button or an input field. And second are the methods. Methods are just functions that do stuff a real user would do, such as login or add this to my cart. So instead of your test file being full of things like page.getByLabel and page.locator calls everywhere, your test file just says things like loginpage.login and pass in the email and password. This is way easier to read. Let me show you what I mean with an actual example. Here's a login test written the normal way. No page objects, just raw locators straight in the test. This works fine, nothing wrong with it, but here's the thing. What if you got 20 tests that all need a login first? You'd be copy pasting these 4 lines into every single one of them. And then, say the dev team changes the login button from a role equals button to something else. Now you've got to find and fix that in 20 different places. And that's the point here. It's pretty rough. Now here's the same test but using a page object. See the difference? The test reads almost like plain English. Go to the login page, log in, check for errors. And what that means is that if a button selector changes, you fix it in one place, the login page class. Every test that uses loginpage.login automatically gets the fix. That's the whole win right here. So when you're building a page object, there's basically 3 kinds of things that go in there. First are locators. These are read-only properties set up once in the constructor, stuff like the email input or the submit button. Second are the action methods, things like login or add to cart. These actually do something. Click, fill, navigate. And third are getter methods. These pull data off of the page, like what is the price showing right now? And one more piece. A lot of projects have a base page class. This is just a shared parent class that all your other page objects extend. So if every page needs to navigate somewhere or wait for the page to load, you put that logic once in base page, and every page object gets it for free. Okay, so that's the theory. Now let's go look at a real project that's already set up this way, and then we're going to refactor a test together. Okay, so here's our project. It's our plant store app. You can browse through plants, add them to cart, check out, standard e-commerce flow. If we look at the code itself, you can see that there's already a test folder. It has a pages directory that has base page, cart page, login page, and products page. So let's first look at base page. It's pretty simple. It only has a few things in here. It has a method for navigating, which just goes to a specific URL. And then we have a wait for page load, which just waits for network idle. Let's go look at our login page now. So as I explained just a minute ago, you can extend your class using the base page. So now that login page has access to everything that was inside a base page. So remember that navigate method that was inside a base page, that's available inside of login page. Now looking at this constructor, this is the main purpose of POM files. So you can see this is where all of our locators are defined. We have our email input, password input, submit, error message, and register link. All of them are all contained here. Whenever we want to use them, we just call them by name. So you can see down here in this login method, it says, await this.emailInput.fill email. We're not hard coding the locator inside of this line. It's already declared up here, so we're just using that and attaching the fill method to it. And also, this login method makes it so that we change 4 or 5 lines of code into one. So instead of our test saying, enter the email, enter the password, and click on the submit button, we have one line that says log in, and you pass in the email and password that you want to use. Super simple. Now, if you want to learn how to be an amazing QA engineer just like me, I have a 30-day style bootcamp that teaches you everything that you need to know to land that first QA job. We even cover some AI skills. I'll leave the link in the description and use coupon code subscriber to save $5 on this course. Let's look at another one. We can look at cart page. So you can see we have a constructor here, but this time it's not extending from base page. So you don't have to always extend from the base page. Just do it if you need it. On this one, you can see that we have our getter methods though. So we have get unit price, get item total, and get summary total. This is just going to take the text from the page and return it. But before it returns it, it's going to parse it back into a number. So that way we can do any math calculations on it. And what that means is that your test directly doesn't need to deal with these parsing strings or regex at all. It just calls the cart page.getUnitPrice and gets back a clean number for it to do math with. That logic all lives in one place, and it's not copy-pasted into every test that checks for a price. Make sense? All right, so let's look at this test now. We have a cart checkout spec here. Inside of our test, you can see that all of our locators are hard-coded inside of the test file. So for example, if I search for .product card, you can see that I have it here, I have it here, I have it on the next test a couple times, I have it on the next test a couple more times, and a couple more times for the next one. And this is just one file. I have 8 instances of this specific locator on one file. So that means in the current state, I need to update 8 places if anything changes here. With POM, I only need to update 1 because these will all be using a reference to that POM file that has a declaration of what that locator should be set to. So you change it in one place and everywhere else that uses it gets that update for free. All right, so let's convert this test and use the POM. So first thing we'll need to do is we'll need to import in our page object files into this file so that way we can use them. So at the top, we'll add 2 lines. We'll need to import in products page and also import in cart page. Inside of our test, before we do anything else, we'll need to make an instance of each of those. So const product page equals new product page and pass in the page. The page is this object here. Also const cart page equals new cart page and pass in the page there also. So looking at this test, let's figure out what we need to change. So await page.goto is fine, but anywhere we see a locator hard-coded is probably something that we'll need to get rid of. So I actually don't need this right here. And what the next few lines are doing is this one is getting the first card, this one is getting the first product name, and then it's clicking it. So I can just replace it with this line here that gets the first product name from the first card. After that, we can remove this one here that clicks on the first card, and I can replace it with this, add first product to cart. Next, we're making sure something is visible, but it has a hard-coded locator. So I'll replace this with that. Next, we have a click on a modal button. So I'll replace this with that. So go to cart from modal. And this one here, for checking the URL to have the /cart in the URL is perfectly fine. And the final thing we'll need to do is clean up these assertions because they have hard-coded locators in them. So I'll just simply replace it with that and we're good to go. And another thing that you'll notice is that we no longer need these extra comments here because before the comments were required because you couldn't really tell what you were doing with the way the code was written previously because it said, click on locator XYZ and fill the form for locator XYZ. But now it says add first product to cart, go to cart modal. So it reads more like plain English. So we can remove all of these extra comments here because they're not necessary. And I can probably just leave it like that. It's okay to have the assertions on what you're expecting and the initial comment of what you're actually doing, but you can clean up however you feel like it. And now look, same tests, same checks, but now it reads like a story. So go to products, grab the product name, add it to cart, check the modal shows up. And then you go to the cart and check that it's there. No raw selectors in sight. And if anything about how we navigate to the cart changes, the logic lives in the products page POM file, and it's not scattered in every test. And now let's try running the test to make sure everything still works. So it's the first test up here. I'll just hit play. And there we go. We have a green check mark. Everything still works on the test like it did before. So nothing on the actual test changed, but now it's easier to read and easier to maintain. Okay, so let's recap a bit. A page object is just a class for one page. It holds your locators, your action methods, and your getter methods. The win is simple. When a UI changes, you fix it in one place, and every test that uses that page object gets the fix automatically, and your tests end up reading like plain English instead of a pile of selectors. And that's it. That's how page object model works. So if this helped you out, hit the subscribe, drop a like, and I've got more Playwright videos coming, so you don't want to miss those. And if you try this refactor on your own project, let me know in the comments how it went. Did it clean things up? Did you find some gnarly locator that's been copy-pasted 40 times? I want to hear about it. All right, I'll see you in the next one.